Hello there, welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today we're going to talk about people you shouldn't be friends with and people you shouldn't date. We're gonna start with friends. So with friends, I think my biggest thing is anxiety. For me, when someone gives me too much anxiety to the point where I cannot be near them, I cannot be friends with them whatsoever. The anxiety to me is this constant fear and thoughts in the back of my mind. Fear, by fear it means like, oh, I'm gonna mess something up, I'm gonna say the wrong thing, or I'm gonna do the wrong thing and they're not gonna want to be my friend. So from experience, I had a friend like this. I'm not gonna say what their name is or who it was. Before they were friends with me, I did have feelings for them, but I was able to remove those feelings and just stay friends with them. They were just constantly, they were not the type of person that I assumed and thought they were. The first kind of situation where I realized that they were not really friends of mine, where I'll get to like different topics through it all. They were never really there for me when I needed them. So anytime that I had a hard time and I was like having a mental breakdown, I would either text them, hey, I'm not doing good, like this and this is happening, and they would just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and call it a day. When in reality, I'm the type of person that needs, like, I guess you could say those words of affirmations. I need to talk through it with someone, because sometimes it's really scary having to deal with it on your own. And yes, I've dealt with so much stuff on my own, but sometimes just having that person to ground you and be there for you helps a lot more than just dealing with by yourself. So they were never really there when I needed them, and it hurt, because to me it kind of played into many games of, are we really friends? The next thing is self-worth. I felt really worthless around them. I felt like I was never doing enough. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good at anything. I wasn't good at my job. I wasn't good at being a friend. I wasn't good at nothing. They made me feel so little and made me doubt myself multiple times. When I first met them, I was such a confident, beautiful, intelligent, independent person, but I slowly turned into this completely opposite person, because they wanted me to need them. They wanted me to reach out for them, and they wanted me to just be there for them and not for myself. It was like a narcissistic, manipulating kind of friendship, because that's what they were. And I don't know if they still are. I don't keep touch anymore. But that's what they were. So they kind of basically, I wouldn't necessarily wouldn't say directly, they would tell me like, oh, you're worthless, but it was just like the little smallest actions. Like I would do something and it would be, oh, that wasn't good enough, or I could do it better than you, like come up, get it together kind of thing. And to me it's just like, oh, I'm so sorry, I should redo that again. And it was also the fact that they constantly kept saying things like, oh, when it comes down to this, like, who do you think they're gonna choose, you or me? And it would be like other friendships too, like, oh yeah, they're my friends, they're not your friends, you don't deserve to be friends with them. Just kind of shitty now that I think back to it. I don't really think much about it, because the whole situation really gives me so much nostalgia and makes my brain hurt, and it was terrible. But they were so manipulative in so many ways. The next thing that I'm gonna get to, they like to paint pictures about people to other people. So I found out by one of my close friends that saying all of these things about me that were not true. This person was telling people things that were not true. They kept telling people that I was obsessively in love with them, that I was doing this and that if they ever needed something, I would be there for them 24/7. But the thing they didn't realize is I do that to all my friends. I am the type of friend that I will be there for you 24/7. If you tell me that there's something wrong, or you say, hey, I need someone to talk to like ASAP, I will drop everything and get on that phone call with you. because that's what friends are for. And I would do anything for you. If you're having a bad day and I know your favorite candy, your favorite snack, something little that I know is gonna brighten your day up a little bit, I would go as far to do that. But I don't think they realized that. I think they thought that I was still confusing my feelings over our friendship, which is not true. I do so many things for people in a good way from the bottom of my heart, not because I expect something from them, but because I am a good person. Yeah, so they were lying to people, telling them all this crazy stuff about me that was not true. So watch who you're friends with. Really be careful who you choose to be friends with. Truly. Oh, arguments. We tend to get into a lot more arguments than normal friends do. So I have 3 amazing best friends. All three of them. I met them through different jobs, but I love them. They are my support system. We have each other's backs all the time, and I love them, and they're amazing people. I never argue with my friends, and if we argue, it's over like the stupidest shit, but it's something that we'll just laugh about and like move on and be like, yeah, and it's stupid for us to fucking argue about. And that's really not arguing. It's more like of a disagreement. We all have our own opinions. We all see things differently. But with this particular person, it was constant argument after argument after argument after argument, and it was just so tiring. The first argument that we kind of had was wanted to go out and about to go do this, and this person hadn't had enough sleep, and I told them, hey, I would rather you not do that, and I would rather you go home and sleep because you're very sleep deprived. They kind of kept bringing it up, like, no, I want to go do this and this. I basically just said, I don't want to argue with you anymore. I'm done with this conversation. I told you how I feel, and at the end of the day, it's up to you for what you want to do. Just don't tell me anymore. And they kind of got mad, and the rest of the day didn't talk to me. They didn't even say goodbye to me. They just left after that, which it's a no-go for me. I have really bad trauma with arguments and people just walking off and not finishing what they're saying, because to me it's like, oh, I don't give a fuck about you. And I have trauma. I kind of got flashbacks that day from everything that happened, so that was a big red flag for me. The same thing with the 50-50 next segment, kind of this 50-50 of giving back and receiving. I was constantly giving to this person and they never gave back to me. I think for so long I did them a kind of Halloween basket because they were going through a really hard time, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna do a boo basket to cheer them up as a friend. I did that. I got them a Christmas gift. I would like buy them like little things like energy drinks and stuff. I never got any of that back in return. I think the only thing I got back was maybe like one Christmas gift, and that's it. The entire time we were friends, we only hung out outside of work twice, and that's basically it. Compared to the amount of times that I've hanged out with my best friends outside of work, because we actually have made the effort to correlate and try to hang out kind of thing. I gave too much. But going back to anxiety, I felt so much anxiety to the point where I was getting anxiety to the point where my whole body would shake out of fear. This is kind of a wrist presentation. I'm not really shaking right now, but I just couldn't do it. I had too much anxiety with them 24/7. I couldn't eat properly. I would have to constantly starve myself around them because I wasn't comfortable eating in front of them. If I did eat in front of them, they made me feel bad. It made me feel terrible, like I couldn't eat. Like, how dare you eat in front of me kind of situation. I deserve to eat, you don't. My body would always just shake, and I would have like mental breakdowns. Really happy that I got through today. I'm so glad I didn't have an anxiety attack, because there were constant times where I almost did have anxiety attacks, but because of this person. It wasn't because of my mentality or anything. It was because they were messing with me. They were doing things that my brain couldn't register, but my body and my heart knew about it. Because I would just get this gut-wrenching feeling in my stomach all the time, which I couldn't really pinpoint or really tell what it was until the long run of realizing what type of friend they truly were. I just couldn't do it anymore. They weren't worth it. I don't regret being their friends, but it's just like I realized my worth and I cut them off completely. I'm not friends with them. I don't follow them. I don't want to know anything about them. I try to fix things. I try to talk about things with them. They don't feel the need to do that or feel the need to apologize for whatever reason is. They've hurt me constantly multiple times. They don't care to fix that relationship or apologize for everything they've done to me. Fuck them. I don't owe them consideration. I don't owe them an explanation. If I don't want to be your friend anymore, then I don't want to be your friend. Instead of asking me what you did wrong, ask yourself the things that you went wrong at, the things that you messed up, the things that you could have done differently to make this friendship work. And yeah, don't be friends with people like this. They were chaos. They were a lot. It was just a lot. They were narcissistic, manipulating, liars. These are things you should really look out for. Don't let people treat you like this. Be better. You can always go on the good route, be like, yeah, I don't want to be friends with you. If you want, I can explain everything. And if they don't want to hear it, then don't. Be like, cool, I just don't want to be friends. I tried to explain A, B, and C, and you didn't care enough to listen to me or even try to understand why I don't want to be friends. So just leave it like this. We don't want to be friends. I don't ghost people, but I slowly start distancing myself to make you realize that I don't care anymore, that I don't want to be part of your life anymore, that I generally don't give a shit about you because you hurt me. You had so many chances, and once I don't care, it's a very scary thing because you will feel that I don't care because the late night calls, the text messages, the little smallest things that I do for you, the appreciation confirmation texts, everything just slowly starts disappearing, and you will feel and miss my absence more than anything in this entire world. And I really hope it hurts you in the fucking ass for being a bitch and mistreating me, because now I know my self-worth. I know who I am. I'm a fucking bad bitch, and I will keep doing me until the day I die because you don't deserve me or my love or respect or anything at this point. So be a bad bitch. Look out for yourself. Look out for your friends. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, a good afternoon, whatever day you're watching this, and I will catch you on my next video. Peace out. Ka-chow. I would caution. Oh my god, girl.